Hello, hello, welcome back to Felix Art World. Here are my new babies, the elephants. They're photocopy transfers and I will show you how. I am using two methods to achieve this. And as you know, this was done on a dirty board. If you want to see that particular video, follow the link above. I have already applied a layer of the liquid text gel I have here is a soft medium gel, and I apply a layer to each canvas already. The canvas has been dried and it's been dried up for the dirty board's been dry for about a week, and now I apply the soft gel layer and I'm gonna do a transfer. I gotta do more layers from 2 to 3. In this case, I'm gonna just do 2 layers for each canvas before I do the transfer. I've been doing the application with a knife palette because the brush was leaving marks. Now here I have the original. I'm gonna make a photocopy of it. This has to be a laser copy because we want the toner, not the ink. And this is the second option, labels. And what we need is not the label, but the shiny part, the shiny paper, the labels on. This is what we need. I'm saving these stickers on this paper, but if you are a regular user of this type of labels, just save the shiny side. Now here's my printer. It's a laser copy, and I'm gonna do the copy on regular paper first. And remember, I know there's people that has used the inkjet for transfers. I know I tried it long ago. It didn't work out too well. For some people, it actually works, which is amazing, but most of the time it won't. Okay, so I'm just doing a regular black and white photocopy. Looks good, I like it. Came out looking clean. Now I'm gonna open the drawer and insert the shiny paper with the shiny side facing down. And let's see, this is the first time I try to do this on this particular printer. Let's see what we have. But this one came out really nice. I like it. Nice and clean. Now let's see this. Ooh. Ay, ay, ay. No good. Does it easily come off? Oh, yeah, it does. Well, I'm going to clean it up. Let's see. I'm going to just try with this first. And it is coming off, but that's going to be a lot of work. So, let's try with alcohol. Oh, it's working. And a rag. That'll do. It's going to take time, though. I took this technique from the Craftsman. That's another YouTube channel. Wonderful, full of great tips as well. Go visit him. Here's a link to his video, and when he did it, it worked out fine. Maybe he has a better printer than I do. I don't know. And he did a color one. His transfer was a color copy on wood. It came out really nice. You should go and pay him a visit. Back to the photocopy on regular paper. Now the next step is to apply a layer of gel, let it dry, and apply a second layer, let it dry. You can speed up the drying process by using your hair dryer if you're in a rush, but you gotta make sure it's really, really dry. It now has 2 layers of dry gel, and I'm just gonna cut it to the same size of this canvas, 8 by 10, and it's easier if it's the correct size. That way it's much easier to center the piece. And I have support on the bottom because I will be rubbing with a credit card. I will be rubbing the image while it's facing down, and I need support so that I don't ruin the canvas. Plus, it's gonna have weight on top as I'm done. Okay, so this is now the final layer that I will add to this, and I'm gonna leave it wet. I need it wet like this so I can put it face down on the canvas. Now, I think the pink area will look better on the around the trunk of the elephant. So that's what I'm gonna do. And once it touches the canvas, it's in contact, you cannot move it because that's gonna ruin it. You might get a double image. And I'm pressing from the center, moving out so that I can get these bubbles out of the way and get a nice smooth imprint of this, get a nice transfer of this photocopy onto my canvas. All done. Now I need to put weight on it and let it dry overnight. It's been over 12 hours. Let's see how dry it is. It should be completely dry. Yes, good, good. I like that. Okay, before I start rubbing this guy, because I need to get it wet, I got my sponge and water. Now here's the other one. It has its support, and this is the one on the shiny paper. So this one, as you guys could see, the image comes off, the toner comes off that page very easily. So instead of applying the gel on the paper sheet, we're gonna do it here on the canvas. So same idea, get gel all over the canvas, and now place the page, the image facing down, touching the canvas, so that all that toner can be transferred onto the gel. The gel is the one that's gonna retain. So same idea, get the bubbles out of the way and let it dry for a few hours. This one doesn't require that long. You can speed up the process with a hair dryer or a heat gun. And I did a mistake here. I mean, not that I put the weight on it, but that I used a small wooden cardboard. You'll see what happened next. Okay, now I am ready for the rubbing action. The idea is to get enough water, not too much, enough water to soak it till you see the image, the toner. And then I'm gonna flip the sponge and start rubbing away all this paper pulp. So I flipped the sponge, and now I'm rubbing with the hard side of the sponge and the green side. In the areas where there's no toner, you can go a little heavier, but not too heavy, you know. You don't want to lift off the gel, the paint, and ruin the canvas. And yes, after doing this for a while, you're gonna feel it on your fingertips. They're gonna feel funny. So if you want to put on some kind of leather gloves, go ahead. That's what the craftsman was using. And or if you want to use a piece of cloth, that'll work out too. So you have to just be very, very careful not to lift off the toner. I'm going to give you a close-up so you can see what I see. I'm going to let it dry. It still has pulp on it, but I have to let it dry to see how much pulp it has. See it right there. You can see it right there. So it requires a lot of rubbing. This is why this is the longer method of doing these transfers. Now it's dry. You can clearly see where the pulp is. So let's keep rubbing, get it wet again, and keep rubbing. I'm gonna go a little heavier on that side where there's nothing. And here, I'm gonna be really, really careful. I decided to switch to a microfiber cloth, and it worked just fine. It gave my fingers a break. The tip of my fingers were feeling super sensitive, so I had to switch. Now I am going to check it again. It's good to be constantly checking in between breaks. Let it dry and see where else we have more pulp. This one looks pretty clear, so it's ready to go. I am doing this additional step because I like it. You don't have to do this. I want to see some color on this elephant. So I'm using some of this is the leftover paint I had mixed for the pour. And it didn't have enough pigmentation for the transparency I'm doing. So I decided to add more pigment to it. It's still going to be a transparent color, but at least it's going to have more pigmentation. I'm going to see more of that beautiful hot pink. Now, if I were to transfer that same elephant onto a canvas like this one, this is too dark. It wouldn't work out. There's not enough contrast. So not every single dirty pour works out for a transfer. Now let's move on onto the shiny paper, the easy method. It should be easy. Anyway, so it's dry. It's been quite a few hours, over 4 hours. And I gotta, it's really sticking. That's not how it worked for the Craftsman. This is really sticking in there. Wait, oh dear, I don't want to damage it. So I'm gonna get it wet. I'm gonna get it wet and see if that helps. I don't see why it wouldn't work. All right, let's do this. Ah, it's working. Awesome. A little bit more pulp in there or something. I get rid of the rest. The Craftsman was able to reuse his, but he didn't get his wet. Okay, here's the comparison side to side. So what do you guys think? Which method do you like best? I really like this one. I added an additional layer of gel. That's why it's so shiny. It protects it as well. This one, I'm gonna keep working on it. If I had started with a good copy, I wouldn't need any additional work. But since I had that little incident with my printer, I'm gonna retouch it with just defining the lines. Yep, that's it. But remember that I used a small cutting board to cover it, to put weight on it. I should have used a big book. Anyway, but that helped me to see these undulations here? That's where it didn't have weight on, and the paper sort of wrinkled up, and it's this wavy pattern. That I'm going to be able to use that technique on a different composition where I want to simulate water. Final close-up. I like it. Look, this is what I mean by transparency. Nice. I like it. Now this guy needs more work. And you will see the final photos of the final work on my Instagram, Felix Arwell, or my page on Facebook, Felix Arwell. Well, thank you for joining this channel, being part of this artistic, creative family, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.